Welcome back to Sportsbeat. Today is July 28th, and we are recording podcast number 23. We are live in the My Little Falls podcast studio, and as always, I'm joined by the man who likely tells people to get off his lawn, our producer, Dave Warner.
Don't let your dog shit on the lawn.
Get out of here. I could.
Damn kids.
Yeah, I could see you doing that already.
Yeah.
Anyway, but in your case, it's get away from my camera.
There's that. Yeah. Or my car or whatever.
Everything, right?
Yeah.
Continuing with our summer series today on getting to know the players on the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dawgs. So we're going to continue with that one. And this week we are lucky to be joined by John Archer, who's a pitcher for the Dogs. John started last night in game 2 against Watertown, which the Dogs picked up another valuable win. And during the year, he attends St. Thomas Aquinas College studying management and is a right-handed pitcher for the Spartans. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Not too bad. So you are currently, if I remember correctly, and talking with you and Vanny, you guys are currently in Auburn right now for tonight's game?
We just got to Auburn. We're about to take batting practice right now.
Nice. Well, we'll keep this to a cool, 2.5 hour interview, and you can maybe make the game, and Travis can. No, I'm kidding. You know that. So, so you pitched for game 2 yesterday. Give us a recap on that, what it's like in Watertown, and give us the overview of what happened.
Yeah, I mean, obviously got off to a rough start, gave up 3 in the first, and kind of from that point on, the goal was just to give the team a shot to win. So from that point on, I ended up giving up 4 total. So from the first inning on, I only gave up a run. So I was happy with the way I bounced back, but obviously a little frustrated with the first inning. But at the end of the day, we came out with the W, and we got 2 huge wins yesterday. So from that perspective, I'm good to go. I'm happy about that.
And your bats got hot towards the in that game as well. Looks like you guys had pretty convincing wins, both of them. What was it, 9-3 and 7-5, if I've got that right, or something in that ballpark?
Yeah, it sounds about right. The bats picked me up big time because obviously it wasn't my best start of the year, and give up 3 quick ones, and then right away I'm back to pitching with a lead because the boys put up 4.
Nice. And that's a big win for you guys because it's end of the season. You've got some cancellations still on the schedule that aren't going to get made up. You've got
right.
your final handful of games coming up and everything. So picking up 2 clutch wins to keep you guys in playoff contention had to have been huge and feel good.
Yeah, it felt amazing. We've been playing really good ball for a decent amount of time now, it feels like, and we got 2 big ones against Auburn. Hopefully we take care of that and have a playoff berth.
Nice. So just jumping back so our listeners can get to know a little bit about you and your baseball journey. Talk about high school, college, where you come from, anything that's important to you.
Right. So I grew up in Dobbs Ferry, New York, which is in Westchester County. It's probably like 20 minutes north of the city. I mean, I've been playing baseball since I could remember. I mean, my earliest memory is playing T-ball with my older brother. From a young age, I just enjoyed playing the game, enjoyed being on a team atmosphere. And then for high school, I went to Dobbs Ferry High School, played there for 4 years, played on the varsity team for 4. And when it got time to think about college ball, I knew I wanted to play in college, obviously. And I was lucky enough to get an offer from Division II powerhouse, St. Thomas Aquinas College, which at the time I was committing was one of the best Division II teams in the country. And I think we're still at that point now. And I took the offer right away because I was just thrilled to go to a place that was really close to home. It was about 20 minutes from where I live, and play an elite caliber baseball.
And what did your season last year look like? It had to have been crazy. I'm sure, over the last couple of years, cancellations came through. COVID, everybody knows about it because we lived it for the last 2 years. What did your college season last year look like?
Yeah, well, it was definitely the craziest season I've ever been a part of. We got to a point where we were only traveling with a percentage of the roster. Certain pitchers who weren't eligible to throw that day would stay home. We were only playing 3 games a week as opposed to like 4 or 5, like in normal years. We only played, from a certain point, we only played in-conference games. The out-of-conference games were essentially canceled. They were trying to eliminate travel. We had 2 different times where the season got stopped in the middle of the season. on multiple occasions, kids on our team have tested positive, and we would have to test immediately and wait results. And it was a complete mess, but it was a great time looking back, because we won a lot of games, we had a lot of fun, we played a lot of meaningful baseball, and it was a nice way to come back from the canceled season. And still going to build on 2022. Hopefully, have a more normal season and keep winning the way we did last year.
Nice. So obviously you're on the Dogs, for this year. How did you get involved with the Dogs or link up with Travis to be on for this summer campaign?
Right. So actually, I was supposed to play summer 2020 for the Dogs. It was a situation where fall 2019, I get back from my second year at Stack, and my head coach, Coach Garvey, starts talking to me about summer ball, and he started asking me if I wanted to play in the Perfect Game League. And I definitely wanted to, because I knew how good of a league this would be, and I knew I'd be able to get better and have a good time up here. And he started listing a couple teams that needed arms, and then we actually had a kid at Stack who played on this team in summer 2019, and he pretty much made it clear that if I was going to go to the PGCBL, I should play with the Dogs. And then from that point on, he just reached out to Travis, my head coach, and Travis reached out to me, sent me a contract, and that was really it from that point on. And then what happened was, when the season was canceled, Travis called me and was like, "Oh, you want to sign back for next year?" And I was down, because at the time there's a lot of uncertainty, and Travis was like, "Listen, we'll get you right back on the roster for next year if you're with that." And I just signed that day.
Nice. And the rest, as they say, is history, because here you are, and you've been there for the summer and rounding everything. Yeah. Hopefully rounding out the regular season and picking up a couple valuable wins moving forward here.
Yeah, exactly.
Usually we would ask the question, what games you're looking forward to, but at this point the schedule's pretty compact with what is left on it. So what goals do you have individually that you still want to cross off for the summer? Do you have any team goals or milestones you're trying to hit to get through as the regular season's coming to a sudden close?
Yeah, I mean, I think the individual goals from this point on, obviously, like, I don't have a start lined up since I threw last night, and we only have 2 more regular season games. So the individual goals are just for me to stay in my routine, keep throwing, and staying healthy, and then being a good teammate for these next 2 games. And then as a team, the goals are just do your best to win each day and get these next 2 W's, and see if we can get a couple W's in the playoffs, see what happens. But right now we're really just focused on the task at hand, which is beating Auburn today. And then when that's over, we'll worry about beating Auburn tomorrow. But we're not really looking too forward to anything, just trying to stay game to game. I think from an individual perspective, my goal is just always give the team a shot to win. And I think I've been doing a decent job of that. Obviously, last night wasn't really ideal, but we ended up with the win.
And what do you think in terms of gameplay for the next 2 games is going to be most critical for you guys to bring home 2 more wins to close out the regular season?
Yeah, I think the bats have been there for the last month or so. I think we just need to play clean ball in the field, catch the ball, and keep the opposition off base, and keep the runs to a minimum from the pitching perspective, and we'll be good to go, because our guys have been hitting the ball real well for the last month. I think we got a couple of quality 2 days, and we'll be good to go.
Who is you said you're not scheduled to start in the regular season left. Who's pitching tonight?
Right. So Ryan Martin will go tonight, and then Keegan Leffler will go tomorrow.
Nice.
We're confident in those guys. They've been throwing well. Good.
And rounding out here in the interview, like I said, painless. We got a couple hard questions. No, I'm kidding. You guys obviously busy summer and schedule, rain really threw you guys more curveballs than you probably wanted to deal with in one regular summer. What's your guys' favorite place or your favorite place to go? Spots that you've checked out here in the Little Falls and greater area up here? And
yeah, well, I mean, we've been having a couple
We lost you, John. Hello, John.
You there?
It's got his video there, but it looks like he might have dropped the audio.
John, if you can hear us, turn off your video. That might save a little bit of bandwidth on your end on location.
I can hear you tapping.
I know. It's the dead silence here in the studio. It's weird. Call him back in.
There he goes.
There we go.
I think I have horrible connection out here, but
That's all right. We got you. So
that's all right. You're back.
Just picking up. So, busy schedule and everything. What are your places around the valley, hangout spots, food spots, all that kind of jazz?
Right. So I mean, as a team, one sec. As a team, we have a few kids who live on the Nellis farm, which is in Fort Plain, I think.
Yep.
And we've been hanging out there as a team all the time. We have a bonfire there. Probably like a couple nights over the summer, and then on the off day on Monday we went to Nine Corner Lake, which is probably like the second time we went all summer.
Nice.
Obviously we don't have a lot of time because we're playing a lot of games. We're getting back, but those two spots we've been hanging out the most at.
Nice. Where's your what's your go-to food spot or food spots here in the valley?
Yeah,
I think that's it.
Lost him again. When he comes back in, tell him to drop his video feed.
Gotta love it.
I know.
And you would figure being in Auburn, being so close to the area, that they'd have better signal down there for everything. But
looks like a nice park. I watched the game Sunday.
Yeah.
That they played a doubleheader Sunday against them.
Okay.
And the field looks nice. They actually got a jumbotron.
Really?
Out there in left field. Yeah, they were running commercials and everything on it. I was like, oh, that's so cool.
When are we going to get you at the over here in Little Falls running the Jumbotron?
Oh,
next year.
I would like that.
Yeah, you would.
Those things are like what, 100K or something like that?
Oh yeah, I can't imagine. I know Canastota football put one up a couple years ago and it wasn't cheap.
Yeah. Hey, John, turn your video off and that'll work better. There you go.
There you go.
All right. Now can you hear us?
Yeah, we're kind of,
That's all right, man.
We're kind of in a tough spot up here. There's not a lot around us.
That's all right. So the question was what are your food spots or spot that you prefer here?
Wow, I mean, there hasn't been much time to really eat on our own because we've been eating with the team a lot. But there's a pizza spot that's kind of connected to the apartments that we live at that we always go to. I think it's Sal's Pizza.
Oh, right, yeah.
Right, it's connected to our apartments. So I think that's like the biggest spot for the team. We're there all the time because it's connected to our apartments. And then there's a diner in Herkimer, Autos.
Crazy
Autos.
Right. Yeah, we go there all the time.
So I told Joey this last week because he mentioned that in my day job is working at the Board of Elections for the county and here in Herkimer, and the my counterpart commissioner, her and her husband are the ones that own it. So
really?
I told them that the other day, and I'll mention it again. They've been I think they're supporters of the Dogs and have been for a while since they've been here. So they were pretty psyched about that because Joey said they have the biggest pancakes he's ever seen, and I told Kim and Scott that, and they both started laughing. So.
Oh my goodness! The first day I went there, I asked for a short stack of pancakes, and I ate like half of one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the idea. You don't need a short stack. You need a single pancake that you fold over, and that's a full stack of pancakes anywhere else.
Exactly. It was huge. The plate took up like half the table. It's
how we eat in upstate. What can I tell you?
Yeah.
So, besides that, and obviously the next two games are going to be critical, and I don't know if you guys have looked forward to postseason. Right now, I'm just going to assume that it's the next two games, and that's what you guys are looking at.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the kids are different, but I haven't looked at it. I just know that we gotta win these next two. That's really all I know. I think If we win these next two, we'll be good to go. And then we don't know who we'd play yet. Other games would have to be played out, so we wouldn't know until these next two games are over who would be our playoff matchup if we do get in. So we're
for a fact Amsterdam will be around. That's for sure. They're playing pretty well.
Yeah, no, that team can play for sure. They'll definitely be there. And then Socrates will probably be in there too.
Yeah, Socrates is playing well too.
Yeah.
Well, man, we appreciate your time, and we'll let you go get into the batting practice there and get ready for your game tonight. It is a big game, and we wish you all luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Sorry for the difficulties on the phone.
Hey,
not a problem, John.
Don't worry about it, man. We appreciate your time.
No, thank you guys. Have a good one.
All right, you too.
Bye.
Bye. John Archer with the Diamond Dawgs. It's always fun. And not so much, the interview's obviously the main thing, but it's what's going on in the background. People walking over, they know he's doing everything. Hey, what's going on? Yeah. And like in the locker room earlier in the season, they're going with it. So
no, what is actually cool for me is that, I see these guys every home game.
Right.
But I don't really know who they are. They say hi. We say a couple things, but or they're goofing off for a photo. I don't know if you saw that one where
I saw
Cedric Rose is laying across the guys, and so there's some of that, but I don't really know who they are. So just even listening to them here for me is kind of a cool thing.
That's why I was really happy Travis and the team were willing to do this, because, I've lived in Central New York my whole life. And you read about, if John writes about it in the paper, usually it's John Rathbun. Sometimes once in a while, it'll end up on WKTV. Now with social media, and they've got McMullen over there, he's doing his thing with the write-up for the games and whatnot. You just don't have the human face.
Yeah.
People know what's going on, but they don't know who is going on.
Right.
So it's cool to get some of these and just like you said, put that human face there.
Yeah. And I think next year, maybe we start this earlier or do something different, or maybe an on-location interview that we bring back and run, or something like that, to where, we're not dealing with these issues of they're out in the middle of nowhere and don't have cell service and whatever.
Yeah. And, last minute kind of thing, but it definitely did its purpose of two things, obviously putting a face to the name so they know who we are, and filling the content void that is the summer around here to a lot of degree.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to do the press box here in a second, but we'll do a quick commercial break here, and we'll come back on the other end.
Visit My Little Falls and stay connected with the latest news, information, and events in the city and the area. Our mission is to generate interest in the community and connect residents in a more meaningful way by facilitating deeper conversations about how these stories will shape the future of the Mohawk Valley. Join thousands of weekly visitors who stay up to date with feature stories, interviews, videos, our event calendar, and print publication, the Mohawk Valley Express. It's about timely local news for the community, keeping citizens informed about important issues, telling about the people who live and work here, and giving locally owned businesses the opportunity to reach a very targeted audience of locals and tourists alike. It's a whole new form of media-rich content developed specifically for today's mobile lifestyle and listeners. You can download our iOS app in the iTunes store, listen to our country music streaming radio station, or sign up for a weekly newsletter. Stop by today at mylittlefalls.com. You'll be glad you did.
And we're back. So we're going to do our press box segment here, and not too much going on in throughout the area, and especially local. And again, content void that is the summer. Everything's wrapping up. Hockey's over. NBA's now over. And Legion baseball to a degree is over. High school's not online yet. They're just reporting to camps to NFL. So it's right in that lag time, like it's the calm before the storm.
Yeah, but I mean, we could always talk about my favorite summer thing that's been going on,
which is
the Kraken. Like just the name, just the new expansion team in Seattle.
Hold on. You save that. We might have one that's worse.
All right, go for it.
Here we go. So let's start with the press box first. We got Mohawk Valley Diamond Dawgs swept the Watertown Rapids yesterday. They won both games. First game was a win 7-3, and the second game was a win 9-5. This was picking up from the game that was suspended, of course, due to weather, rain, and all that on July 17th. The Dogs will start their final home-to-home of the season today, as we just talked to John with, Wednesday, which is today, July 28th. And then they will play Auburn and home tomorrow.
So when this airs, they'll be playing that game.
Correct.
Do you know, until this morning, I didn't know what a home-to-home was. And I figured it out. I didn't.
Aren't you like a Texas football guy? Like, isn't that like the...
Yeah. But I haven't heard that term before.
Really?
I hadn't.
Really?
And I was sitting there going, what the heck is Josh, what is a home-to-home? And then I was like, wait a minute. They're playing Auburn back-to-back, but they're there at their home. Then they come to our home. I've got it.
You got it.
Yeah.
It clicked.
Yeah, it clicked this morning.
There you go. Hey, as long as it was before here, we don't care.
Yeah, exactly. Now I just admitted to everybody I had no clue.
That's okay.
All right.
After all the stupid things I've done, you're in good company.
Yeah, true.
As we were talking about, they need to win both games if they want their season to continue. And I will note, even though it has nothing to do with the games coming up, last week on Friday, the guest that we had last week, which was Joey Salin, if I said that right, it's really, really shocking to me, threw a no-hitter against Watertown. So that was pretty cool. I watched the replay. He was so happy. And the picture of them all on the mound was pretty cool. So
that was awesome.
Yeah. So obviously good luck to the Dogs and congratulations to everybody on the continued accolades. We got a no-hitter. We got some people drafted in the major leagues. We got everything around. It's really cool to see in our right backyard. So
yeah.
Jumping over to Major League Baseball in the AL East, evil Boston still holds first place. The Rays are back 2 games. Yankees moved up into third place this week and are now 9 games back. The Blue Jays had a bad week and lost a lot of ground. They now sit 10.5 games out. And the Orioles still continue their campaign of irrelevancy, and they are only down 27 games out of first place. So my question is when are we going to talk about a mercy rule for professional baseball? Because they're awful. Awful.
My wife was saying, why do they still keep playing if they're so far?
We have somebody in our fantasy football league that, every year is having the crap year, and they just check out after they're eliminated mathematically. And it's like, well, why can't they do that? But then, the answer is that, if they're not going to play, it should just be a loss to everybody, but there are teams that have lost to it. So if they decide, hey, we're really going to try now that we're going to get the first round draft pick or whatever it works out, we're really going to try. And it could really screw some teams over and play spoiler.
Well, and typically the thing is, let's say they're coming up, they're playing somebody, they have no chance whatsoever, and they're playing somebody who does.
Right.
To knock them out.
Kitchen sink protocol.
They live for that.
Yeah.
So.
Like, damn well, if the Yankees are eliminated and they're playing Boston at the end of the season, it's going to be kitchen sink protocol, and they're going to try to do whatever they can to make life hell.
Have you ever watched that guy on Facebook that puts all the words to the different interaction between the players and stuff? I want to say it's June. Was it June Boy or something like that?
I've seen those. They dub over. They're not really saying what he's saying, but they have the fake. It's hilarious.
I sit there just crying watching those things.
And it's a YouTube vortex. You get lost in it. You watch one and then 45 minutes later.
No, it's great.
It is. Over in the NL East, the Mets continue to hold first place again this week, and they picked up a decent lead and put a nice little distance between them and second place. Phillies are back 3.5. Atlanta is back 4.5. Nationals are back 7.5, and Miami sits in last place in that division with 10 games out. So this is why I said stay tuned. So it was leaked late last week and reported over the weekend that the Cleveland Indians will officially rebrand themselves as the Cleveland Guardians. Much discussion on Sports Talk and online has been had about this, so feel free to check out some of that. If you're a fellow Redditor, have fun with the unending amount of memes that have been placed on for that. So
was what was floating out there true, that the team was originally named after an actual Indian, the first Indian to ever play on the team? That was floating. You never know when you see stuff on social media.
I haven't seen that, to be honest.
And it was named after him. As an honor. And so they said, without your history, people, you're getting rid of a name and you don't really know. So I didn't do any research on it.
Neither.
But I'm
I'll
curious.
Check it out.
Yeah. I mean, it looked, you can usually tell when somebody's just making crap up on Facebook or something. But this one looked pretty legit, because it was a relatively long story about who he was and how he got into baseball and whatever. So
I'll have to check that one out.
Yeah, check it out.
But I wonder where they get, and I looked briefly and admittedly I didn't do any research really on it, but I wonder where they get the Guardians from, like Cleveland Guardians?
Guardians of the Galaxy, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not going there. And we're moving on. Over to the NBA Finals last week. About 5 hours after we recorded our show, the NBA season was over. The Milwaukee Bucks took Game 6 in pretty dramatic fashion to win the NBA championship. Giannis Antetokounmpo, if I said that right, that's a miracle as well, was named the MVP. So congratulations to the Bucks. Was really wishing, CP3 and company could come back, but they checked out. What was really funny is if you don't know Giannis' story, for listeners, you should look it up. It's amazing from where he came from to being here, but he went after he won the championship and the MVP, he took his whatever vehicle he's got and he went to Chick-fil-A and he ordered a 50-piece chicken nugget, and it went viral on social media. And he goes to the girl that's taking the order because they have somebody outside. Apparently, they're instead of having
to speed everything up.
Yeah. And he goes, I want 50, not 49, not 51. I want 50. And she goes, and he's got his phone and he's like recording her. And he goes, just so you know, there's 125,000 people watching this right now. And I don't think she knew who he was. Oh. And it was just a cool story because, from where his background is, it's got to be weird ordering 50 chicken nuggets kind of thing. But it
was just a little snack.
Yeah. Yeah. For him. Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
But, humble kid, really, really good, and Milwaukee Bucks haven't put a championship up in a ton of years. So it was a good series. And we didn't have the big superstars, which makes me happy.
There's always that.
LeBron had Space Jam and Space Jam sucked. So
did you watch it?
No, I refused.
Okay. All right. So you just read the reviews and said, to hell with this.
I mean, when Rotten Tomatoes is under 50%, you've got to be pretty bad. So that's okay.
What was he like? I want to say it was like 29, right? Wasn't there something in the 20s on it?
Oh yeah. It's probably dropped. It was under 50 its opening weekend, which made me really happy because a bunch of people that are LeBron James fans that are my friends are like, oh, you should watch it. It's so awesome. I'm like, stop. Anyway, the Utica Comets announced that they will face the Rochester Americans for their home opener to start the season. This was the first match that they will play as the Comets begin their new affiliation with the New Jersey Devils. The game is on October 17th, which will mark 34 years to the day since the Utica Devils made their debut in Utica at the Odd. So fun little history fact there. Full season schedules were announced last Friday, so go check that out on the Comets website. Pick up a game, and tickets are, I believe, already on sale and have been for a while, so that's pretty cool. Going to have to try to get to a couple more Comets. It's always right in the middle of basketball season. There's like 80,000 games, and then you look and say, oh, I got nothing to do tonight. Let me check out a Comets game, and you go to look, and they're away.
Yeah. Well, no, Scott's got me hooked on the hockey, and if I don't go to a game or something, I'm going to get ragged on, so.
Well, now we everybody in Central New York that's even mildly sports is going to have to go because you're going to need to get a new jersey, new colors.
That's true. Yeah,
my old one's going to have to just hang in the man cave.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So we got the Olympics. They happened. Opening ceremonies took place, and the Olympics are on their way. And we have a ton of news, and I'm only going to hit a couple of the highlights. So, current medal count: Japan leads the medal count with 22 overall medals, and 13 of which are gold. China has 27 overall medals, but only 12 of them are gold. And USA sits in third with 31 overall, but only 11 gold. So that's the medal count as it stands. And this was as of a couple hours ago, and time zones and time changes. And I'm getting text at 3 a.m. that a game just completed, and it's like new time. It screws me up. Biggest news so far is Simone Biles withdrew from the Olympics, and I'm pretty sure I saw a thing as I was coming in that she withdrew from another competition, so it looks like her Olympic journey this time is over, and she had qualified for the finals in both. It was originally cited with an apparent injury, and I'm not sure if that was still the case, but then it was self-reported the move was for her mental health. Obviously, kudos, making what she feels is the right choice. And I got to imagine, and reading her post, it can't be easy. And you don't think about it because you're watching on TV from, a million miles away, so to speak. But she can't talk. The only way she can talk to her family is through an iPad. And they don't bring the iPads or anything onto the courts with them because they can't. So no family, friends, fans, nothing. You get your teammates, you get your coaches, you get the judges, and that's it.
It kind of sounds like being in the military and away for a year.
Yeah.
You notice my sympathy.
Yeah, I know.
You don't want me to go there, right?
No.
I think she's one of the greatest athletes ever. I'm not supportive of this decision.
The one thing I can't judge her on is she's making what she feels is the best decision for her mental health. And people are like, it's like, and this is a horrible comparison, but people telling other people how to grieve. How I determine how I grieve is a personal choice to me. What's in, my best interest, for a lack of a better term. And And I get your point too, and I can understand it, but you're not going to the negativity that the internet spawned.
No. I'm more into fighting through it. Your teammates, not letting your teammates down, that kind of camaraderie.
Right.
I read her post. I read what was bothering her, everything else like that. So I don't know.
I'll be happy when the Winter Olympics come back next time and COVID is not talked about, and the Summer Olympics in now 3 years.
What planet are you on?
Yeah, I know. Earth, I think. I'm going to call Bezos and get out.
You want to ride the penis?
There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
There it is. Right?
Did you see that? Jumping quick though, I have to. There was a meme where it had like Dr. Evil on one side and then Jeff Bezos on the other. They're both laughing and it both shows the rocket, and it was well.
I didn't see that one, but there was another one I saw, and I just I was just crying on there. It was hilarious.
Yeah,
people are so skilled who do stuff like that.
And the funny part about it is like 10 minutes after these things happen, Reddit is flooded. So people are doing this in real time, creating memes. It makes me so happy as a troll.
Did you see the video today with the beavers curling?
No,
They were playing curling.
I
was crying. I'm like, I do video all the time. I'm thinking, how do these guys do stuff like that? It was just so incredible.
I'm going to have to go check this out. And there's an hour and a half of my time because of the video that's recommended next.
Beavers and curling. Check it out.
Yeah, that could end up dangerous.
Well,
the U.S. women's soccer finished second in their group after Alex Morgan's goal was called back on VAR. Second place is still good enough to move into the final bracket for the knockout stages. I will say, as a soccer fan and a loyal Team USA men and women's supporter, they've had a rough go at it in the stage, and they need to rework their game plan if they want another gold medal, because it was not really good in group play. So Katie Ledecky did not even medal in the 200-meter event, which is one of her specialities, but came back in dramatic fashion to win the 1,500-meter freestyle and add another gold medal to her resume. Erica Sullivan from Team USA took silver in that. I'm pretty sure if I looked up, she's possibly got another couple events that may be going on right now, but I have no way to know. So the time zone's really screwed.
You only have an iPad that you're reading off
do,
of.
but I turn it off so nothing comes up and everything.
I forgot to do on this monitor. Yeah.
That's all right. Yeah. And last out of the Olympics, Lee Kiefer won the first ever gold medal in the Olympic for women's individual foil fencing, beating her Russian opponent. Kiefer is 27 years old, from Kentucky, and trained and got prepared for the Olympics, all while attending medical school. Wow. Cool story. Watched part of that because it was on, I think it was NBC Sports. They had her finals. And I haven't watched some of the interviews she's done after. I'm pretty sure she didn't know for probably a solid 5 to 10 second count that she had won, because her coach is screaming that it's over. And the judge is like moving in to like end the contest. And then she takes off her helmet and just like loses it in celebration. And that was pretty cool. But
some of those celebrations are the coolest thing.
Yeah.
Do you see the group that was watching from Alaska?
Yes. We have the first medalist from the state of Alaska. Right. I forgot what sport it was, but it was.
I forgot what that was too. Oh, yeah. And then you had the Filipino girl.
Yes.
Who won the weightlifting.
Bottles. She used water bottles to train.
I know. It's just amazing to watch that stuff.
Yeah.
So
nuts.
Yeah.
But lots of Olympic stories. We covered a fraction of it because, the Olympics are just so massive of an event, even in, COVID era, whatever the hell we're actually calling this. So good luck to them. I know there's still obviously some concerns and they're seeing some issues. So hopefully we can make it through the games, because I think they got 2.5 to 3 more weeks left of this. So yeah, I know. Coaches and staff, please send us your sports reporting at sportsbeat@mylittlefalls.com. Also, if you're a Falls sport coach, please take that down and include us in your normal submissions to news. That would really help us out as we get looking to our fall schedules of stuff that we're going to be doing for content here for the Pressbox. And for updates and highlights throughout the week, find us on Facebook at Sportsbeat with Rob Drumm. For all your local sports, news, and our podcast home, find us on mylittlefalls.com. For Rob Drumm, here with Dave Warner, we'll talk to you next week.